My name's Joel Nichols, and I am the owner and director of Revolution Audio, which is a Southwest-based live audio company specialising in providing services for live events. I'm currently 19, and I've been doing sound since I was around 14, involved in smaller scale events. I began doing sound at my church, and then I moved into schoolwork. And then when I left school, I became friends with a local band who were looking for an engineer for some of their smaller gigs. And I started doing things with them. And through that, I started specifying equipment for them. And in the end, we ended up with so much equipment that we started a sound business as a kind of side project. And I continued doing that as I went through college. And then when I left college, I decided that I wanted it to be my full-time commitment and source of income. And so I went full-time and invested in all the equipment and facilities needed to run the business. In terms of formal qualifications, I never studied business or audio. I did study GCSE music, but that really doesn't cover it. The closest thing I have to a formal qualification for this was broadcast media, which I studied at college. And while obviously not particularly relevant to sound, it taught me a lot about logistical planning, pre-production, and the importance of liaising with clients and planning an event. As well as being the owner of the company, I am the lead audio engineer, which means that every event that we go out to, I'm responsible for mixing the sound. And outside of events, I'm responsible for the marketing, liaising with clients, and general admin roles with crew, finances, and other general admin tasks. However, I do, for larger events, bring in a certain amount of crew to help with the labour and lifting and setting things up, and that depends on the scale and complexity of the show. I haven't found the age to be too much of a problem, really. I think a lot of people are actually very pleased that they're seeing business initiatives in young people rather than just sort of stopping after college, stopping their education and trying something a little bit different. And I think as long as you show a level of professionalism and commitment to all your clients, they'll show you that in return. Working with clients is very exciting because I get a real satisfaction out of meeting their needs and providing a service that's perfect for them and overcoming any challenges that they've got. We do a very wide range of events. The majority of our work tends to be live concerts, and that can vary from anything from a heavy metal rock show to a very small acoustic night. But we also do many other events, for example, weddings and conferences. And we also have an equipment hire department that rents individual items. For example, if someone just needs a microphone, they can rent that off us. We conduct live recordings. We've worked in partnership with the Eden Project on some live recordings. And we also have a consultation department which specialises in helping customers specify and install new systems for their own venues. I was very fortunate when I came to start the business that I had some inheritance that was left over from relatives, and I chose to use that to buy equipment and to get the business up and running. I think a highlight of my career so far would be forming a very meaningful partnership with a nationwide events promoter who is really pushing forward for small sound companies like ourselves to provide good service and is really helping book events around the country. In terms of struggles that you have as a small business startup, I think the biggest one has been the early days when you're just wrestling with the sheer amount of investment needed to set up a company like this, both in terms of equipment, storage, transport. There's just a huge amount that you've got to balance along with income and make sure that you're financially sound. In the future, we'd like to see development in ourselves in the tour market. We'd like to form some partnerships with bands and promoters to arrange some UK tours. And we'd also like to expand the consultation department to do some more installations in other venues. So in 5 years' time, for example, I'd like to see us regularly doing a couple of tours a year and getting some more high-profile installations and continuing to develop the rental and events departments of the company as well. I would say to any young person thinking of starting a business, if you've got the idea and you know you're good at it, just go for it. It isn't the easy option. It isn't the one that everyone chooses. A lot of people will ask why you're not going to university or some form of further education. But I would say it can be immensely challenging, but also immensely rewarding. And so if you've got a passion for something and you know you can do it well, just go for it and you can make a success of it.